This is The Mint live on ZTN Prime, your sneak peek into the world of business, finance and economies. We're coming to you from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. I'm Ibn Mapunda. Let's get started. Now, coming up, Zimbabwe's macadamia industry is unlocking fresh opportunities as global demand rebounds, fueled by the rising popularity of healthy plant-based foods. Recent figures indicate that local export volumes are increasing, with major players like Arison Holdings Limited investing in advanced technology to enhance quality and maintain a competitive edge. The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange has lifted the suspension of trading in Miko's Limited shares effective immediately after the company resolved corporate governance issues that triggered the halt in November of 2024. Bitcoin started this week surging to a new all-time high above $122,000 after breaking through various milestones in the past week. The largest cryptocurrency was up 3.5% over 24 hours and has flown 12.25% higher over the past week. The government continues to invest in measures to plug revenue leakages at Zimbabwe's ports of entry, the most recent being the installation of cargo scanners to improve the efficiency of customs processes, a senior official has said. Woolworths and Engine have officially launched their 100th Woolworths food stop at the Engine Centre and Convenience Centre on Catherine Street. This marks a major milestone in their 25-year partnership in South Africa. Africa's richest person, Aliko Dangote, has applied to begin work on a seaport near his fertilizer and oil refinery plants to make it easier to export goods, including liquefied natural gas, and support the rapid growth of his industrial empire. US tech giant Nvidia has secured approval to sell its H20 artificial intelligence chips to the Chinese market, company CEO Jensen Huang announced earlier today. According to the Tesla website, Model Y will be introduced in two versions, including rear-wheel drive and long-range rear-wheel drive. And since April, the United States has been dialing up tariffs on some of its biggest trading partners, which has sparked global pushback. Of course, we explore these issues here on The Mint. The Mint will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Of course, you're watching The Mint as we come to you from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Now we take a look at our stories in detail. The Zimbabwean macadamia industry is unlocking fresh opportunities as global demand rebounds, fueled by the rising popularity of healthy plant-based foods. Recent figures indicate that local export volumes are increasing, with major players like Arison Holdings Limited investing in advanced technology to enhance quality and maintain a competitive edge. Our reporter, Nyasha Shawatama, brings us this report from Chipinge. Once considered a niche product, macadamia nuts are now among the world's most popular healthy snacks, and Zimbabwe is cashing in. Zimstat's data shows macadamia export shipments jumped from 5.2 million kilograms in 2023 to over 8 million in 2024, registering a 53% rise. But while volumes surged, export value grew by just 29%, from $6.7 million to $8.7 million, as average prices fell from $1.29 per kilo to $1.09 per kilogram between 2023 and 2024 respectively. Despite the price dip, global demand is rising. The world macadamia market is projected to hit $1.8 billion in 2025, driven by growing consumer demand in the Asia Pacific and North America. By 2030, it could reach $3 billion, growing at a rate of over 10% annually. To stay competitive, local producers like Ariston are investing in technology at their macadamia estates in Chipinge.
We are actually employing artificial intelligence in our macadamia sorting. We actually use scanner, which is like the new technology that brought into this country, where we use Vala 5, the most recent technology that has been introduced in China.
Ariston produced 1,395 tons of macadamia nuts in the group's 2024 financial year, up 3% from the 2023 financial year, a 13% rise in selling prices, which lifted group revenues to $7 million. This technology boost comes as buyers now scramble to secure supply after years of COVID-19 driven supply interruptions.
The technologies around withering. Currently, we are using conventional withering troughs that have been used traditionally, but now we want to go towards continuous withering systems. These continuous withering systems are being used across the world for better products and also increase the productivity. They consume less energy.
As Ariston leads with tech, other players like Tanganda are also moving up the value chain. Tanganda has faced a slight delay in completing its 500,000 macadamia processing plant due to cash flow issues. The aim is to process locally and export value-added products to cushion against price volatility.
As a result of that, we've decided to hold on our big capital projects for this coming year, and we intend to start those projects early next year. It will enable us to settle the cash flow and get the whole company fully back on track before we go into these big, bold, expensive projects.
With exports rising, technology improving quality, and global demand set to grow further, Zimbabwe's macadamia industry is showing how strategic innovation can add value and keep producers ahead in a changing market. Now, the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange has lifted the suspension of trading in Miko's limited shares effective immediately after the company resolved corporate governance issues that triggered the halt in November 2024. ZSC CEO Justin Goni confirmed that trading will resume with circuit breakers open to allow for price discovery. Central to the resolution was the reconstitution of the Miko's board, including the appointment of independent acting chairman Fayaz King following the retirement of long-time chair and controlling shareholder John Moxon. Miko's reported a strong third quarter with revenue up 54%, driven by sales growth and exchange rate gains, while group profit after tax stood at 73.4 million ZiG, reversing a loss of 4.5 million ZiG in the same period last year. Now, Bitcoin started the week surging to a new all-time high above $122,000 after breaking through various milestones in the past week. The largest cryptocurrency was up 3.5%, 22,500 on Monday morning as the European trading session began at the start of the week in U.S. politics being dubbed Crypto Week by the White House. We spoke earlier on to Tapiwana Shekusereka for perspectives, and this is what he had to say about the surge.
In recent days, Bitcoin gained a significant milestone in terms of uptake and value since its introduction in 2009, as many people started to acquire a lot of Bitcoin and started to build trust.
Well, he also spoke about what this development means for the investment community.
It now appears as a good vehicle for investment for those who are pursuing value, or those who are looking for the storage of value, and those who are running away from those restrictions and have regulation from the central banks across the world, because there are little or no standards for Bitcoin which are now enforced, so that those are favorable conditions which helps the growth of Bitcoin in recent years. So I do believe that the price of Bitcoin will continue to skyrocket as many investors, both retail, high net worth and wholesale, continues to have more knowledge about the use, the characteristics and the importance of Bitcoin. So we are highly likely to see the price and the value of Bitcoin continues to
when the Mint returns Zimra of customs processes. Now the Mint will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
Pardon? Say that curiosity killed the cat. Well, we say curiosity makes you swipe.
Okay, there's a real big one. Oh, okay.
Okay, stay in the elevator.
Okay, that one came out of...
Look up.
What we're looking at is 2 charging ports to charge the vehicle.
And things get electric. Catch Swipe right here on ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294.
You're watching the Mint as customs processes, a senior official has said. This was said by the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion Permanent Secretary, Dr. George Matanga, at the recent Shipping and Forwarding Agents Association of Zimbabwe annual conference held in Bulawayo. In a speech read on his behalf by the ministry's acting deputy director, Revenue and Tax Policy, Memory Madondo, Matanga said the government had invested and would continue to invest in modernizing customs processes and enhance revenue collection. Zimbabwe faces significant border revenue leakages estimated to be in the billions of dollars annually due to smuggling, corruption and gaps in border management systems. This loss of revenue impacts the country's ability to fund essential services as well as development. Elsewhere, Woolworths and Engine have officially launched their 100th Woolworths food stop at the Engine Centre Convenience Centre on Catherine Street. This marks a major milestone in their 25-year partnership. The new store opening is said to reflect the evolution of the two brands' long-standing collaboration, which has reshaped consumer expectations of convenience retail across the country. The milestone shows what's possible when two brands with a shared purpose come together, said Evangelos Mois, head of food stops at Woolworths. Each food stop is designed to mirror the in-store Woolworths experience, ensuring a cold chain integrity and offering a curated selection of fresh produce, pantry essentials, and convenience meals. As demand for quick, reliable shopping continues to grow, the brands say they are focused on expanding access to their service model beyond traditional retail settings. From Johannesburg to KwaZulu-Natal and Cape Town, Woolworths food stops are becoming part of the daily routine for thousands of commuters, and the companies say there is more in the pipeline. Now, Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, has applied to begin work on a seaport near his fertilizer and oil refinery empire. Aliko Dangote's plan to build the biggest, deepest port in Nigeria took wings after he sent in the paperwork for permission in late June, he said in an interview in Lagos. The proposed Atlantic seaport in Olokola, Ogun State, lies about 100 kilometers by road from the billionaire's fertilizer plant and petrochemicals refinery in Lagos. The refinery, once completed, the port will link the conglomerate's logistics and export operations and rival facilities in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital, including the Chinese-funded Lekki Deep Sea Port, opened in 2023. The port marks the billionaire's return to the same site where he had previously abandoned plans to build his net under a new administration. Dangote also plans to export liquefied natural gas from Lagos, a project that will involve constructing pipelines from Nigeria's oil-rich Niger Delta. Vice President of the group, Deva Kumar Edwin, said in a separate interview, "Time for us to take a breather." After the break, US tech giant Nvidia has secured approval to sell its H20 artificial intelligence chips to the Chinese market. Now the Mint will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Catch exclusive interviews every weekday for candid, exciting, and thought-provoking conversations with your host, Erika Ndoro.
We talk about arts, we can talk about sports, we can even talk about politics, and sometimes we venture into a nice guitaristic play. The one story where you can't get out of your head. Wakatarisa munhu, so Erika, like where you're sitting. Ndozongokona bata face so pasina munhu.
Wakasiya music yako yo afro chakuti ndo music manje no yeMzimbabwe.
And I'm sure they're still saying the same thing now.
Yeah, so
Shona kana kuti Chindevere kana mumwe mutauri muno muZimbabwe ndiwe iwewe ndiwo rupawo rwako ndicho chidadiso chako.
Catch me, Erika Ndoro, right here on ZTN Prime every single Monday at 7 p.m. whilst we get exclusive.
They call me Racer X, or in this case, Racer J. All right.
Put your seatbelt on.
Didn't graduate. I guess I blew it.
You couldn't advise him anything. He would just look at you and say, so who do you think you are?
We were just like really spoiled.
And then they just give me the receipt and I'd pay.
The guy walks in one day and then he says that he wants to make a movie.
He was blowing the money.
There was just like this habit that he had where as soon as he got money, it was gone.
I just didn't have the skills or the experience.
This money, I could see it disappear so fast.
To you from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Now, US and Huang announced on Tuesday. Huang made the announcement in Beijing.
I'm announcing that the US government has approved for us filing licenses to start shipping H20s. Okay. And so we will start to very, very good news. The second news is that we're also announcing a new GPU called RTX Pro. And RTX Pro is very important because it's designed for computer graphics in digital twins and AI.
Huang will attend the opening ceremony of the 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo on Wednesday and participate in various related activities. Now, according to Tesla has entered the Indian automobile market with the opening of the first showroom at Bandra Kurla complex in Mumbai. As Tesla gears up for the roads of the world's 3rd largest automobile market, it will compete with luxury giants like Mercedes-Benz and BMW, as well as players like Tata Motors and Mahindra. Located for the inauguration. As the showroom opens in Mumbai, here is all you need to know about Tesla's launch in India and what models will be lined up. As of now, Tesla has planned in Shanghai. According to the report, a second showroom is also expected to open in New Delhi by the end of July, due to which Tesla has increased ports. Model Y will be introduced in 2 versions, including kilometers per hour in 59 seconds. That's quite fast. The long-range rear wheel will offer a range of 622 kilometers and will go from 0 to 100 kilometers in 5.6 seconds. Both models will include 9 speakers and 15 elements that will frame, of course, these 2 models that are being introduced to the market. But of course, so much to speak about Tesla, as well as the technological advances that are being brought about by Tesla. One of the key elements there is the fact that the mileage story, if you are African or Zimbabwean like me, would be just how Zimbabwe fits into the pieces, of course, of this jigsaw puzzle. When you look at the fact that largest single lithium rock deposit, this speaks to just how Zimbabwe is endowed with the lithium resources. But of note is the fact that we've seen over $2 billion in projects announced over the past 2-3 years, mainly coming from, well, of course, we do know that Treasury has, in the presentation of the 2025 national budget, made some revisions that see to it that as and when the lithium resource is exported from Zimbabwe, there is some degree of value addition that would take place. Now, what's important, the lithium ion battery is the battery that is used within the Tesla model, is the battery that is used within electric vehicles, as it were, around the globe. So the conversation and the discussion is that since Zimbabwe is already involved in this lithium value chain, it would be necessary, and it would of course be seeing to it that the lithium ion batteries are manufactured here in Zimbabwe. And of course, while this would translate to investments that could come to the tune of at least $2 billion, this would in the long term see to it that value is. Several countries around the continent have also made some kind of advances. You speak of Ghana, you speak of Nigeria, but while they're building capacity for battery manufacture as well as electronic vehicle manufacture, they do not have the lithium vehicle value chain. Of course, via our social media handles at Zim Papers TV Network as well as at ZTN Prime. Your views and your thoughts are important to us right here on The Mint. Now, our finals sparked global pushback. Well, in May, the US and China struck a 90-day truce after negotiations in Mexico face a 30% tariff starting August 1st. Canada is facing 35% tariffs on select exports despite being part of a joint trade agreement with the United States and Mexico that was forged by Trump during his first sectors. Brazil and Asian countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia regime. Experts say that this could trigger a new round of trade disputes at the world. Tariffs on both metals to 50% across the board. Even long-standing allies are no longer exempt. Second, copper is being targeted with a new 50% tariff from August 1st. It is crucial for electric vehicles, renewable energy systems, and electronics. This move could drive up costs for American clean energy projects as well as electric vehicle makers. Lastly, there is the automobile sector where there is a 25% tariff on all car and auto part imports. Of course, we continue to track that story and give you the latest on that development. And of course, that's a wrap on The Mint today. Do follow us on our social media handles, and of course, do remember to catch us every weekday 2 p.m. Central African time for the juiciest business stories in Zimbabwe, on the continent and beyond. I'm Ibn Mabunda, the money man. Let them do what they do. When we do what we do, we mean business. Thank you for watching and have a good day.